Access a drop, as in a lot of our other footworks that we identify, but what a bound does is it literally jumps to the outside. Now the advantage of a bound is it gives me another angle to actually get into my drop stance, which would be the default way that I would land in my drop from a bound. So what I want to be able to think right now is when I'm actually in this spot and I want to actually drop in that location, I can simply jump in the air to land in that location. That's what a bound does. It's my ability to actually physically jump to a different location of the floor. So from a defensive standpoint, it can be very difficult to guard because I'm covering space in a very quick and violent way, and I can cover a lot of space when I do it. Now, if I was going over the technique of a bound, the main thing I'd want to emphasize is I want to be able to pull off of my outside foot. Because I'm landing in my drop, it means that I'm trying to land back foot, front foot. So if I try to generate my momentum from my inside foot, it's going to naturally put me on my outside foot first, which isn't going to give me the same rhythm and the same ability to really explode out of my drop. So my ability to pull off of my outside foot frees up my inside foot, so when I'm actually landing in that location, I can land back front. Now, whenever I'm doing that, I want to be in good rhythm. I want it to be back front, not back and then step with my front. So we still want to be able to be in a great drop rhythm from this. And so I'm using mats right now to hold myself accountable. I could, of course, use cones, but the mats make me be very, very precise, which is why I prefer to use them whenever I can. Now, what I want you to do right now is just get good at the bound technique. So if I can already stand in my location, I have one turn pound right now to help myself launch into my drop as I'm landing there, and then I can explode into a drive to the basket, a drive to a pull-up, whatever you prefer. The main emphasis right now is our actual bound. So from my right hand, I'm pulling off of my right foot, which is my outside foot. I'm landing into my drop, and then I can explode out of it. Now, right now, I did more of a higher version. When you do bounds, you can also stay low. So you can mix up how you do it. So if I was having a lower bound, I can keep my hips down the entire time. So when I'm landing in that drop, I'm staying down. So those are just ways that I can quickly shift my body to get into the drop at a new location so I can attack. Now, if you get comfortable with that and you choose to dribble the ball up into the space, just keep the same thing in mind. I want to pull off of my outside foot so I can get to my destination, pull off my outside foot, and land in my drop position. Now, every time I land, I want to make sure that I control that space. And if I can always get to that same location, I know I'm in control of my drop and in control of my options. So spend 20 minutes working on your bounds and really getting into your attack. Now, if I was to go left, I would just simply reverse that. My outside foot would not be my left foot. I would simply pull off of that foot so I can land right, left, inside, outside, and now I have that same drop option as I would have had the other way. So mix up your spots on the floor, really master that bound technique, and see if you can get into that same drop position in an easy